Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemi Shai Shemaka Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, who are the true leaders of Israel today. And salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. And the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Yakalia, and I'm from the GMS Jamaica Kingston camp. And this video is about the mark of the beast prophecy, which is the microchip. All right, so another microchip update, which really is a mark of the beast update, right? Because we're in that time. Okay, we're at the end of the rulership of the Edomites. And it says in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 3, that the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Okay, so the vision is speaking because we're at the end of the rulership of the Edomites, the end of this world, the end of this age. Okay, and the mark of the beast prophecy is a major prophecy that we look towards right now, because without that prophecy coming to pass, the salvation cannot come and the destruction cannot come, right? Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay, so until this process comes to pass, where it reaches to the point and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, and the other prophecies can't come to pass. Okay, so this is the major one to have all eyes upon, right? Other prophecies are coming to, the famine, the pestilence, Jacob's trouble, the famine of the word, etc. But this mark of the beast prophecy is very, very, very important. It's the number one to look at right now. Okay, and with that is a system being put in place. Okay, because they need this microchip to function. So in order for it to function, a system must be set up to allow it to function, right? And as such, over time, we have learned the various parts that are included in making the system function, such as the central bank digital currencies, such as the digital identification systems, such as whatever other infrastructure they're putting up there to facilitate the usage of the microchip, however it is meant to be used. Okay, and so we know about the central bank digital currencies, right, which have been expedited recently, right, because we had that 2020 situation that occurred, which they were building the narrative for it even before that. But I'm not referring to the 2020 worldwide situation that occurred. I'm not referring to that. The narrative I'm talking about is the central bank digital currency narrative that started to build before the 2020 situation occurred, right? They started to really make certain moves. For example, the now leader of the, the ECB, European something, Christine Lagarde, you can Google her, right? Because they moved her from her previous position to her new position, right, to push the European Central Bank digital currency. She was over here in her prior role in the Caribbean, pushing for these Caribbean leaders to start their central bank digital currency. And then once the 2020 situation occurred, right, all of a sudden you're hearing about a sand dollar from the Bahamas. All of a sudden Jamaica's releasing their own digital dollar as well. And the rest of the world is going along with it, right? So even when you look at that worldwide situation, after some time, to me, I can see two things that Esau really, referring to the so-called white man, right? What Esau really did with that which is one, to expedite bringing in this system. Because before, all right, there was always talks about you could find information about the microchip. There were people over there in Sweden getting microchipped. You'd hear about these isolated situations, right? But in terms of the system coming together, the central bank digital currencies and these digital identification systems, it really happened after and during, rather, that 2020 situation, right? So they use that as like a catalyst to push it forth, right? So it appears to me that we're in a phase of sorts, right? That's what they're really doing, okay? Getting everything together. And it's not, from my observations, it's not in the most methodical of ways. There isn't a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plan step that they have, because when you look at all of these different countries around the world, each country is developing at a different rate towards their central bank digital currency and their digital identification system. Now, we have some places that there has been a very big focus on when it comes to the digital identification system. Let's put the central bank digital currency to the side right now, okay? But the digital identification system. And why is the digital identification system so important, right? Because the digital identification system is actually really what it is in terms of the gathering of all of that information, right? Because the central bank digital currencies are important, but the central bank digital currencies is simply a part of the system to be merged with their digital identification system. And let me show you the proof, okay? So we have this from the World Economic Forum, digital identity. If you do any research right now on the digital identity in India, which is called Aadhaar, they have it in Nigeria, right, as well. You can see how it's being developed and what they're adding to it, right? Adding to it. Okay, so the goal of the digital identification system is to merge all parts of life onto it. And then eventually, from that digital identification, which has all of your information on it, they will simply put or store that information on the microchip, and then it's going to be that all for one use. And that's why the scripture says, and that no man might buy or sell. Because in order for you to gain access to services, you will have to have your digital identification, which will be merged onto the microchip. Okay, right? And here it is, your digital identity. They want people, things, entities, and devices to all be connected, all to be connected as one. And the information that they want to store in a digital ID includes your healthcare, your financial services, which is the banks, your bank accounts. That's the central bank digital currency. The central bank digital currency, to just go back to it a little bit, is created or has been created because the new form of payment with the microchip is going to be a digital payment system. So they're building their digital currency, right? But that same digital currency that's going to be a part of your bank is going to be merged onto your digital ID, right? Which is going to be merged onto that microchip. These are the steps they're taking. They're just not going to throw it out there and be like, hey, microchip, not right now. No, not right now. Everything gradually happens, right? The system must be built, okay? So they're going to include food and sustainability, travel and mobility, that's your passports and stuff. Your passport's if you have a passport, you already have a biometric ID. I have a biometric ID. It's literally on my passport. I already have a biometric ID, okay? Humanitarian response, e-commerce, social platforms, e-government, telecommunications. So telecommunications, smart cities, right? And we know that they're building their smart cities. That's a part of what's coming, smart cities, Okay. But the telecommunications for users to own and use devices for service providers to monitor devices and data on the network. So what this is saying is that your phone, your telecommunications, your phone company, some way, somehow, is going to be a part of your digital identity. And for a bit, I didn't quite understand how they would make that move, but here it is. It has come out, and that's the purpose of this video. Okay, one of the purposes, rather, what sparked the video, because there's many more information that I've said as well. But here it is. All active SIM cards in Nigeria now linked to digital ID, regulator claims. So that's how they do it. That's how it is. You know, I didn't really think that they'd link the SIM to it, but that's very smart. That's very smart for them. The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has declared that there is no active SIM card in Nigeria at the moment which cannot be traced to a national identification number. So, before reading anymore, what comes to your mind? What comes to my mind is that, well, I mean, it's a system at hand, because Esau is bringing in a harsher, stricter slave system than what he had before and than what he has now. It's going to be something more strict. Understand how this microchip is going to work. When it is that you are microchipped, right, and it is as they intended, where your digital identification is merged onto it, so your entire life is merged onto it. What do you think kind of system it's going to be? First of all, with this device inside of you, they know where you are wherever you are. Okay? They don't have to track you down by way of you having your phone on you or some kind of electronic device, or having to track you by way of cameras on the streets and stuff like that. No, they'll know exactly where you are, when you get up, when you go to sleep, when you brush your teeth, all of that kind of stuff with the microchip inside of you. Okay? Literally every single thing is going to be on it. So every time you make a phone call, they know. Every time you spend money, they know. Every time you go to the doctor, they know. And it's just going to be like the Minority Report movie that stars Tom Cruise. So there are many more, but you can think of it yourself how restrictive this new system is and how much control they will have over individuals, right? Digital money is not like digital money is simply adding numbers to a digital database. The money doesn't really even exist there, but they can formulate and create anything they want, right? We know they want to call the population, that's a part of their plans. But you can see, if you really think about it, if you believe, first of all, and you really think about it, you can see the intentions of this devil, right? But everything is going to be merged. And so they have finally done it in Africa, where your SIM card is linked to your national identification. So people can't hide anymore when they want to get burner phones or nothing like that, because your SIM card, your phone has no life without the SIM. You can't make calls, all that kind of stuff. So I guess they just got you right there, huh? They just got the people. Or rather, the people just don't got. However it's said, right? Because that's it, that's your phone. And then even when you look at the phone right now, I'm recording this from my phone, but my phone has, for the what I need to do with life, my phone basically has everything on it. You know what I'm saying? Except for I don't use the Samsung pair that's on it, but people do. So you can see how attached people are to their phones, and how people really can't live without them, right? It's like a gateway, it's like a stepping stone, right? Because the phone itself is also one of the devices that they're using to just gather information together, merge it all onto a device that people use by the minute, by the hour, can't live without, get used to that kind of way of living, right? And just having the phone as that one use. They go to pay, they use the phone. They go to the this, they use the phone. The phone is, they go to the plane, they use the phone. All right? Every single thing is just a simple stepping stone of getting people used to the ideal. Okay? But the real end game goal is this microchip where everything is going to be merged onto it. Right? This is where this devil is heading to. Okay? And as I mentioned before, it appears to be that, you know, the elite of Esau Edom is working in some phase, because we certainly are in a certain phase right now where they're really putting the system together. How long will it take for them to accomplish their goal? I don't know. Only the Lord knows, right? But the time is at hand. Okay, so yeah, this thing right here, this article right here, just, you know, it just shows further proof of this right here, the digital identity, and how all of these things are meant to be merged onto it, and it's going to be an all-for-one use, which is the intention of the microchip. Okay, so that's really it. More videos will come on the topic, of course, Lord willing, right? Lord willing. But the reason why Yahweh Shemishai sends the prophets onto the nation of Israel is to warn the children of Israel of what is to come, the judgments, etc. And so I must inform you as to why this Mark of the Beast prophecy has such a major focus on it, besides just coming to pass, because there's a judgment, right, for those who take the microchip. For one, it says in Revelation chapter 16 and in verse 2 that there shall be a sore that some will feel, right? So it's not, so even those that take the microchip and think whatever, like, yo, even before the destruction comes, people are going to be experiencing negative effects of being microchipped, right? But then in Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9, it talks about a judgment. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wrath of Yahweh Shemishai, which is poured out without mixture in the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So if you take the microchip, you will be destroyed. And the microchip is the mark of the beast. If you take the mark of the beast, which is that microchip, you will be destroyed. You don't have no chance for salvation at all. And that is the warning. All right? So, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai, Shalom.